Hello, my name is Trydar. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build a Roman insula in Minecraft. Let's get started. So this is essentially part 2 in the Roman insula series. This is going to be the type 2 Roman insula I'm going to be showing you how to build. Of course, this one is done in the more conventional Roman Corinthian style. We zoom in a little here. We can see we have some nice Corinthian columns, 2 tiers of those. Some sculptural winged acroterions on the sides here, perched on the corners of the building. This is going to be one of the most ornate versions of Insula I'm going to be showing to you. Of course, they're going to get both more and less complex throughout the series. There's going to be, there's at least 7 of these, but there'll probably be more than that by the time I'm finished. Of course, we have bigger windows now as well. But the same roof on the top here with, of course, the skylight that you can travel in and out of with your elytra. Now, of course, as you can see on the inside here, all the insula are, of course, empty shells. They are meant for you to use to put a very ugly redstone farm inside here somewhere. You can also fit a very tall redstone farm in here. Say you need a concrete maker or something like that, or a tree farm. You can probably fit that inside here, but if you want to, there are various levels in here where I've suggested that you can add additional floors. Like you could make one floor down there, a second one, a third one, and a fourth one up here for that. And of course, the insula, as I've said, are all designed to be modular and expandable or collapsible. So if I go around here, let's take a look at just half of this building right here. I just sliced it in half. So you can see about the space you have to work with. Over here, here is another model, but it's shorter. So if we go on the other side, we can see that what we've done here for this is we have taken this middle layer of columns here and we have squished it down here. So you can have a shorter one if you don't need to have a particularly tall one. Or if you want to, you can squish down the uppermost story here and just squish that down here and have one like that. Or conversely, you can extend the uppermost story here and have a very tall Roman insula design here. Should give you plenty of space. So if I zoom out along here, we can see that you can make these various heights depending on what you need. So for this tutorial, you are getting 5 insula for the price of 1, so to speak. I think they would look different enough from each other, especially if you wanted to change up the materials. For that, perhaps some deep slate instead of the cobble or something. And you could have it look quite different. So we will begin the tutorial in a moment. Let's now take a look at the bill of materials. You will need to construct the reference model here. Of course, if you choose another type of designed one of these, you're going to need either more or less materials. But for the one I'm going to be showing you here today, the default model, right here, you will be needing the following. You will need 5,138 blocks of diorite, 15,928 blocks of cobblestone, 200 stone brick slabs, 868 cobblestone slabs, 576 deep slate tile slabs for the roof, 588 cobblestone stairs. For the windows, you need 440 blocks of light blue stained glass and 408 light blue stained glass panes. 7,220 stone bricks. 2,116 stone brick stairs. And lastly, 760 blocks of red nether brick also for the roof tiles. So this is going to be the same palette that we used for our other insula, pretty much. I think only one of the blocks is different on this one. I think it's the stone brick slabs. But as with all my Roman stuff, it's sort of meant to go together, so they all sort of use that type of palette anyway. So let's talk about the dimensions of the structure. So the base down here at the bottom is going to be 53 by 41, and the building itself from the bottom down here all the way to the top is going to be 65 blocks tall. Of course, that's going to be different if you want to build one of the other types of insula, but for the reference model, these are the dimensions that you need. Of course, the base, you want to go ahead and make a rectangle of 53 by 41. It's 53 along this way and 41 back along this way here. And of course, this includes the stairs. You see it's sitting on the stair here. So you want to do that out of cobblestone stairs. And then behind that, you want to fill in with the diorite patterns and then a bit of cobblestone. And then the interior floor of this is just a straight sheet of diorite as you see done here. So let's zoom in a little. So on the sides here, let's go ahead and make some measurements. So this block right here, that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For that, skip a block and then count for 5 blocks. Skip a block, 5 blocks, and so on and so forth. That is a module, by the way. So each one of these is going to be 5 blocks. Then you'll skip a block and place another one of those until you have made 6 of those. And on the corner over here, there are 4. So this building also has 4-way symmetry, by the way. So as we go, I'm going to be showing you a quarter of this building. And that is because that to get the other 3 quarters, all you do is mirror 1 quarter over here and then mirror the entire thing again to get the rest of the building. You can, I think you can see that from how the building is laid out here. So for the next phase, we'll be going up 2 blocks in height as we do. So from this corner here, you want to place down some stone bricks and then some stone brick stairs on top of that. Like you see done here. You can use the diorite you laid down before as a pattern. For this module here, we just have some stone brick stair details here underneath the windows and some freestanding columns and a couple of plasters along the side, like you see done here. Of course, if you're a veteran of my tutorials, you can build all of that in your sleep. So I won't dwell too much on that. Of course, we have a doorway back here to get into one of the tabernae on the shops on the lowest level down here. And then above that, we will of course have the nice apartments, and then the apartments get cheaper and much less nice as we go up in height. And interestingly enough, this is reversed from the modern layout. All the rich people would be living at the corner penthouse up there, but remember, this is in the age before elevators. So all the rich people live on the 2nd story because they're not going to take the stairs all the way up to the top. They can't be bothered to do that. So all the slaves and all the poor people have to live on the corner of the roof up there. It's very much inverted from how we have it today. So over here, of course, we have 2 more window bays, like you see done here. Of course, the nice apartments would be for the upper middle classes. The patrician class would have their own distinct type of house, by the way. The Roman domus. Already have a tutorial on that. And if we just turn the corner along here, you can see we're putting together a similar module just on the side here. And with 2 doors back here over here. And if you want to, you don't necessarily have to use these as doors. You can just seal them up with cobble or something. Because I imagine you'll probably just be using your elytra to fly in and out of the slit at the top in the roof. Over here, next phase, 2 blocks farther up, just laying down a layer of cobble. On the sides here, a bit of diorite for, of course, our columns. For our windows here, we are alternating the full blocks and the panes. Like you see done there, of course, it's all framed out with diorite, as is the door. And I haven't included any torches in your list of materials, because if you're doing this in survival, you will need a lot of torches. And I will leave it up to you as to where exactly you need to place those to prevent spawns. View along the front here. Same deal for that, and then along the side here. All right. Next phase. Over here, 2 blocks farther up, we are layering our stone blocks and our cobble. So in this build in general, for every 2 layers of cobble you place, you'll place 1 layer of stone bricks. And then so on and so forth. Up the building, you will see that in later phases more clearly as we go. Over here, a bit more detail for the window. So you want to have a cross-hatching pattern of full blocks and panes for the glass, like you see done here. Very simple detail you can use in all your own worlds to add a little bit of texture to your windows and not just have straight sheets of glass or straight blocks of glass. Just do every other one and you will get a nice pleasing pattern like that. Over here, the almost completed doorway, like so there. Of course, so once you build one of these windows and one of these doors, all the other ones are exactly the same as they are on the sides here as well. All right, next phase on the corner here, you can see 2 layers of cobble, 1 layer of stone bricks, details for the window, and a small window over the doorway. And of course, we're extending up the columns for our diorite. Those should be 6 blocks tall. Same details here on the sides. Next phase, we are putting on our Corinthian capitals. Of course, we're using upside down cobblestone stairs and stone brick stairs to represent the acanthus leaves. Over here, we have lintels over our window frames, also over our doors. Same design, upside down stone brick stairs, cobblestone stairs. Once you do one of those, you want to do all the other ones exactly the same, like you see done there. Same deal for the sides as well. The exact same patterns placed there. And on the doorways over here, if you don't have a need for side doorways, if you want to, you can convert these and just replace that with exactly what is beside them. If you just want more windows on the side, you can just build some of these right there where those are. Or conversely, if all you want are doorways, you can just make the doorways. Over here, next phase, we have a little bit of detail over the doorways here, like so. And I think that there should be diorite behind these 3 blocks here. Should be diorite. Of course, we have some diorite on top of our columns now because we're going to be forming some round Roman arches for this, like you see done here. So once you do one of these things on these little pediments over the window, you want to do all the other ones exactly the same, and the same with all of your columns on the sides here. And of course, I'm not really talking about the insides because this is just straight cobble and stone bricks in here for the most part. There are little spaces, of course, for your windows back here as well, so you can see out. And if you want to add some rooms in here and subdivide it off and maybe make, maybe put some actual shops down there or have some villagers, you can just lay down some cobble here and there and just divide them off however you please to do. All right, next phase here. Details for our arches, just a couple of blocks of diorite. And behind those, we want to have some diorite that connects to the walls here, like that. Show you that from the top, and of course that's a module, so once you do one of those, you want to do all the other ones in the building exactly the same. All right, next phase at the top here, we are putting on a small entablature, and we're doing that with just a big rectangle of diorite, like you see done here. And on top of this, of course, we have a bit of diorite in the ceiling up here, as well as some details for the stone bricks and the stairs, like you see done here. Of course, once you do one of those like that, you want to go around and do all the other ones exactly the same. And of course, the same is true for the side around here as well. All right, next phase, we're now beginning a second level. We are putting on a cornice for our entablature right there. Big rectangle all the way around the building. On top of that, you want to put down cobblestone slabs. And on the edges, we want to have some little decorations of diorite that we're going to be building like like that there. And then behind that, we are doing another foundation level. Now, in general, this next layer, as we saw when we did the tour of the building, it's going to be like the layer that is on the bottom there, but the details are a little bit different on the floor right here. So I'll show you this from the back right here. And of course, these are all, again, modules. So once you do one module like that, you want to do all the other ones exactly the same along the front and along the other three sides, like so. And of course, this is also the point where we can put a little ledge here, indicating that you can subdivide off the room if you want to add some additional floors, or I will leave it up to you as to the exact combination you want to use in there, if any. Over here, details on the corners, a little bit of diorite, layering our stone bricks and cobble again, and details down here for this. Now, for this level, this is pretty much going to be a copy of what we did down here for this. Like, take a good look at that. And then here again, you can see we are essentially building the same thing. So you want to go around all the four corners and build the same thing, like you see done here. So we can move a little bit quicker through this phase right here. So again, this is the same module type as is down below. Next phase, 2 blocks farther up, same deal for the wall and the windows. Right there. Next phase here again, we're putting our acanthus leaves on our columns again. And lintels over the window frames. Except at this level, they are all window frames. You notice, because we can't have doors this high up. So all the doors are down there, but all the windows now are at the top. And if we move up again, you can see that we are indeed building the same pattern again, stacking it up that we built below. Another 2 blocks up, forming our arches here for that. And another 2 blocks farther up, we can see this design here again. For that, and 2 blocks farther up again, we are putting on a cornice. So this block here roughly corresponds to this block right here. So if I back out from this, you can see all we've done is essentially what we did here with the details for the columns and the side and everything. We stacked that up. The only thing we really changed here were the windows. See? Like so. So you've already done that once, so you should have a good idea on how to do it again. So we can start with this next level here. Putting on a little detail of diorite here, just like we did down here for this. We're doing that again, right here. And over here, we are layering our cobble and stone bricks again, except we're also adding some roof tiles, like you see done here. So these are all, again, a module. So once you do one little bank of roof tiles, you just want to repeat that same pattern along the front here, adding details for these 5 diorite fennels on the front. And then we have, of course, 3 fennels on the side here and 4 roof tile modules. So next phase here, we can take a look at that again, but a bit more complete. You can see that we're going to be forming some more windows here, so we have some more frames. Just like we did down there, except these are going to be a little bit narrower. These windows down here are 3 blocks wide, but from here on out, they will be only 2 blocks wide. So you want to make that simple pattern there with the stone bricks and the stairs and everything. And just space them out across the front like so in banks of 2. And then 2 banks of 2 of those on the side here. All right, next phase, we have a little decorative cornice here with some diorite. That's going to form the base that our statues will be sitting on up here. So details here for the windows. We're just alternating, remember, the blocks and the panes, like you see done there. Once you do one of those, all the other ones are exactly the same. 2 blocks farther up, of course, we want to have some cobblestone slabs, and then cobble behind that, and then diorite here. And this is going to be what? 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by, I think it's a 6 by 6. There for that. And details here for the windows and the walls. Nothing you haven't done before. Just stack those straight up like that there. And we'll go on to the next phase here. We're building now the lowest portion of the statue. Very simple. Just, 8 blocks of diorite and a torch. Like you see done there. Windows, same deal. Along the sides there. And of course, next level for the statues. I will slow down and give you a good look at these here as to how exactly to place the blocks of diorite. These are sort of a diagonal statue, not something I usually build, but I did want to have them facing diagonally and not just straight forward. These are sort of the traditional acroterions I've been using with like the simple wings and the curly tail, except these are now diagonally built. Like that there. Alright, details here over the windows. Same deal, same pattern. You know what to do there. Of course, all the windows on the sides here. And let's take a look at the next level of the statue. Let's take a look at it from the top. From the back here. And from beneath. Alright, behind here, we are just putting on now a simple rectangle of diorite. Like you see done there, all the way around the building. And the next thing after that is, of course, a cornice of upside down stone brick stairs. Like you see done here with cobblestone on top of that and some stone bricks behind that. Big rectangle of that all the way around the building there. And I think I skipped over the statue a little bit. Let's go back, take a look at this. Give you a real good look. And from below. All right. We'll go on to the next phase. I think that we actually did finish that statue just now. So these statues are done. Just very simple details on the sides there. And again, we are doing another level of windows like we see. It's going to be the same spacing and the same details as we did down there, except just a little bit more basic. Because as I said, remember, all of the poorer people that are renting the cheaper rooms are up here at the top, so they don't get very nice windows. That's why the windows get progressively smaller and less nice as you get towards the top. Because the unscrupulous Roman landlords that would build these things, of course, built them to make money. And you might think that the modern world invented the unscrupulous landlord, but no. This is another Roman thing that we, of course, sadly, do ourselves today. All right, simple details for the windows again. Up here, just like you did down there, you're doing all of that again, layering your cobble and your stone bricks. Like so. Next phase again, just a simple rectangle of cobble and diorite, like you see done there. And of course, you know what comes on the top of the rectangle of diorite. It's, of course, a rectangle of upside down stone brick stairs with some cobble slapped on top of those. And some details up here for diorite as well. Our little decorative finials that we built down there, we're building one last time up here. We're also building now the roof. So we have our roof tiles up here. with our red nether brick and our deep slate tiles, like you see done here. So let me just zoom out and give you a bird's eye view of that entire thing, maybe more useful. You can see we also have a central slit down here in the middle as well, just a straight sheet of diorite for this. And this is going to be how many blocks back? From this point here, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And from the side over here, from this point, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there we go. I think that's the same distance, actually, for that. So almost done. Let's take a look at a more complete roof tile example here. You can see we have these the cobblestone ridges to divide up the roof to make it look a bit more interesting. Are being done like this here. Let me zoom in on a quarter of the roof. Right here. You just want to alternate the blocks, the full blocks and the slabs. That's all my standard Roman roof tile pattern is. Very simple to do, but looks quite nice with these materials, I think. Red nether brick and deep slate tiles pair extremely nicely for this sort of roof. And then, of course, around that, at various intervals, you want to make the little decorative finials along the top. And then lastly, we want to make our roof ridge here at the top like this here. So let me just slow down and give you a good view of the entire roof pattern from the outside and then from the inside here. And then one last time from the top. All right, and then once you have done that, your grand and ornate Corinthian Roman Insula will be complete. So I hope you have enjoyed the tutorial for the Type 2 Roman Insula. Remember, the world is available for download in the video description, so you can download it and take a look at it for yourself. And over the coming weeks and months, there are, of course, going to be plenty more of these Roman Insula. Should be sufficient amount for you to be able to construct an entire city and fill it with different versions of these Roman Insulas. So I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.